Hi everyone, and welcome to another YouTube video of mine. Now today's video is and a very interesting video today, actually for me anyway, is based on the recent news in the MCU that, and I'm sure a lot of you would have seen rounds going around the internet, for those that are into it anyway, surrounding Electro. Now for those who don't know, Electro is one of Spider-Man's big villains from the comics, and even the recent Amazing Spider-Man, I say recent, but it was from 2014 movie, which was played by Jamie Foxx. Now the recent news surrounding him, and for me why it's exciting, is that they have officially confirmed, the actor himself, Jamie Foxx, has also confirmed that Electro is now going to be part of the MCU. This exciting news itself has kind of already brought up so many different theories as to what's going on, maybe why they've chosen to use Electro, sorry, had to move my camera there, why they've decided to use him into the MCU, and so on and so forth. Now let's not forget that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 film, obviously even though it did pretty good at the box office, wasn't universally loved or taken well by everyone, audiences and critics alike. However, me personally, I do think that Jamie Foxx did a pretty good job as Electro. I didn't have that much of a problem with it. And he did it very well. Obviously, some other people's critics probably don't see it as that way. And because of how the film was taken, it's taken a lot of people quite by surprise. However, from what I do, what I have seen though, is that, and based on Twitter and some other sites, anyway, it seems like a lot of people are actually coming to terms with the thought of Electro joining the MCU, which again I do find pretty damn interesting. Now, there are a couple of various reasons for this anyway. Now, the recent theories and stuff that's been floating around is the introduction of the Sinister Six, which more and more time passes, is kind of looking very likely that this is what they're going to do. I mean, they did tease it in, obviously, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but like I said, because of how that film turned out, it was obviously scrapped altogether in favour of, you know, bringing Spidey to the MCU. Another of the theories is, obviously, this is the one question that we do need to know, is how Electro will be introduced into the MCU. And this I find very fascinating, because especially when you consider like these were originally two separate universes. Sony were trying to do their own SpiderVerse, Marvel wanted Spider-Man for theirs, but now we're seeing, I mean, it's almost as if you thought, what's his name, Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton's Vulture was near confirmation that they would be going into the SpiderVerse, which is what the second theory is about, the SpiderVerse thing. The Electro kind of does, well, almost kind of confirm that this is what's going to happen. Now, granted, there is one other question or one other issue that we need to tackle here, is the fact it's regarding what Electro that they're using. Now, from what I've seen, or it's based on what's his name, Jamie Foxx, sorry, what Jamie Foxx said was that he wasn't going to be blue, and instantly that already might show that they're trying to use a different Electro, because you know you've got different versions anyway. I think the one from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 was like the ultimate version of Electro. So I think maybe one thing that Marvel are probably doing is they're just using the same actor to obviously play that character. That's not to say it's going to be the exact same Electro from that movie. So there hasn't been any real confirmation yet as to if that is the actual case. But I think so far everyone seems to believe, or what it seems to believe, is that they are going to be using the Electro from that film, which also could be quite difficult when you consider he's probably, like, it seemed to be that he did die when they overcharged him, and with his own electricity they used it back on him. Although based on this, I don't know, guys, please let me know what you think. I'm going to rewatch the film again anyway, but from what I saw, or what I believe, the reason why I do believe that he could possibly return, even if they were to use that same one, which apparently is the case, that same Max Dillon, is, I don't know if anyone noticed the little chip that he had on his head. You know, when they were monitoring him. I don't know whether that's good. If they are connected, I don't know whether that small chip is going to have a part to play in bringing him back. I don't know. You know them kind of little teasers there where there might have been some power left into that chip. Whatever happened, he came back from there. I don't know. But I'm just trying to think of the scenarios as to how he could return if they were using that same Electro rather than just the actor that plays him. You know? The most common theory so far also is that, and again, this one is very likely, to be fair, is going to be, which will also bring up questions, which I also mentioned, is the use of Scarlet Witch. I've seen all other theories online regarding Scarlet Witch being the one to accidentally make all of this happen. As we know, in the WandaVision show, which is due to come out, I think by the end of this year, we're going to be seeing a lot of Wanda's untapped powers, which most people would know includes reality bending, whooping, whatever. And we've already seen that's what's going to happen in this trailer. You can see a lot of the basically the fuckery and what she's capable of. Do you know what I mean? I also think that we're going to see a lot of this. I can't remember what film. If anyone can tell me, I can't remember if Spider-Man was meant to come out before Doctor Strange, because if not, then there is definitely another distinct possibility. As we know, Doctor Strange 2 is called the Multiverse of Madness, so there's going to be a lot going on there. So that is another distinct possibility. Yeah, back onto the other issue I was just talking about there, in terms of another question to ask was, when, like, depending on how they get Electro back, will he, when they do whatever, open up a different dimension or whatever, will it be like, will he come, I don't know, will it be Electro that they get back as Max Dillon's already Electro, or will it be like Max Dillon, then he turns into Electro in the Marvel, if you guys get what I'm saying? I don't know. It's going to be quite weird, because if you're bringing Max Dillon as himself, I don't know where he would have been in his life, but then they would have to create a new way for him to, obviously they'll create a new way to become Electro. I don't know, but my guess is that it's going to be my personal feeling anyways, especially as this is the Spider-Man movie and they've already introduced a lot of the villains, he's going to become, it's going to be already fully formed Electro. My interest is to see how they show, like, how he gets his powers, because I doubt it's going to be the Electro, even though I do feel like that was pretty cool how he got his powers with the whole accident, the electric eel thing. It's going to be interesting to see how they've kind of incorporated his origin, let's just say that, into this. I mean, I'm so excited for this. It's something I had to just definitely mention and talk about. I'm not too sure why Jamie Foxx maybe gets a lot of hate, or why Electro gets a lot of hate, because in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, guys, I would actually recommend you just go, even if you don't think it's that great, give it another watch and kind of understand that Electro was actually quite a very relatable villain if you think about it. He was a guy that, he was basically a nobody who just wanted to be noticed. Obviously, society is walking all over him. What else are we saying? Yeah, his own employers took the piss out of him. He actually owns the city's electrical grid. And yeah, his own company's his negligence and lack of health and safety caused him to die, which then, which obviously led to him becoming Electro. So when he did have this surge of power, of course he's going to be feeling some kind of way to how he was treated. Do you know what I mean? And if you look proper carefully, you'll notice that during his conversation with Spider-Man, he didn't really want to do any of that stuff. It was because obviously they tried to shoot him, even when he said it's not his fault, yada yada yada. He was being called a freak. Yeah, he is very relatable, and this is, in my opinion, how a lot of us would act if we were him. If we were him, that's how we would act. So I do think Electro was maybe the whole, I don't know, his whole motive doing the whole. Well, yeah, he wanted his grid back. So I'm not gonna say it was like a bad motive anyway, but I do think he does deserve a bit more respect that people give him anyways. So yeah, I would say if you guys give it a watch, and just to understand maybe why even the great man himself, Kevin Feige, has openly come out and said he was a fan of Electro in that movie, bar one or two scenes, because I've seen the leaked email. He kind of gave some constructive criticism based on Electro and so on and so on, and I do think he's correct, and I do believe that if him, Kevin Feige, can like someone like that and take all the positives and just merge it into the universe that they're doing, and I think everyone else should definitely be on board. Especially as you think about it now, there's a very high chance we are going to see, at the very minimum, definitely the Sinister Six is coming. I do believe that. So it's like you've got him, you've got Vulture, people forget you've also got Scorpion that was at the end of Homecoming, you're going to have Morbius, Venom, depending. We need to see what goes on with that, whether they're going to make him part of the initial six. We just have to see where it is, but slowly but surely, everything is looking like it's been organically done, unlike the Amazing Spider-Man films. And this is why I think that we should all be excited for it, and especially for it, somebody like Electro, who is, for me, is one of the first names to think of when I do think of the Sinister Six. One other last point is, as I mentioned, the SpiderVerse. What do you guys also think? Because I think, who is it? Jamie Foxx did put out a picture and it had the three other Spider-Men, like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. So I think this is another reason to get excited, because it's looking, I don't know whether they are doing it, but it's looking likely that at some point in the near future that they are going to have the other two Spider-Men as well, in Maguire and Garfield. So that is also another reason to be excited if the studios do decide to do it. I really do hope they do. And I'm thinking this next Spider-Man 3, it could, don't know, I'm just thinking how high could it go. I'm thinking it could, this is going to be a stretch, but I definitely see it getting over 1.516 billion at the box office if they went with like the Spider-Verse anyway in this one film. But that's probably another topic from another time anyway. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to say on this whole Electro thing into the MCU. I personally am excited for it. I would love to know what you guys think, and like I said, the other issues that are going to come, like the Spider-Verse, the Sinister Six, also how everything's just going to tie into Spidey's individual story. Do you know what I mean? Especially with what happened before. So we just have to see. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think. This is just my view on the whole Electro into the MCU thing. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to debate that with you. It's definitely looking more excited, as it always comes, as days and weeks go by. So we're getting more from Kevin Feige and the MCU. So we're looking forward to it. Please let me know what you think. Alright, and I'll check you guys down the road. Yep. Have a good day, and look forward to seeing you at the next video.